So my first moto vlog in a long time, picking up my 124 Dyna Lowrider S. Let's get into it. Woohoo! My oh my, FXDLS Brooklyn is back. Alright, what's going on YouTube? FXDLS Brooklyn is back in the building. And I say this is my first quote-unquote moto vlog in a while because a lot of the videos I've been doing, especially post-rec, have been a lot of bike side chats and this and that, not actually actively riding and recording. So this is the first one in a while where we're actually rolling the bike and rolling the cameras. As you can see, I am picking it up from Rolling Thunder Cycles out in New York. Did a couple things, thought I'd just give you a little walk around and show you what we did before we get into this little ride here. So first things first, we did a little cleaning up on the headlight. I don't know if you could see it. We did paint all of that housing black in there. It used to be this like chrome and it was starting to actually rust after about 3 years. So hit that, that's all black now. We also switched out the headlight to the Fly Eye V2 by Moons MC. This thing is super bright. Besides that, we also got these strips working correctly. Love these things. Don't see too many people running these, so I always love these. They remind me of like the throwback FXRP lighting, so we got that. What we also did is, you know, so many times in my videos there's always somebody talking trash about my destroyed old mirrors, so finally threw on some new mirrors on here. I was actually just gonna spray paint them black, but Gerard over here was able to get me these for a pretty good price, so replace these mirrors. So you know, you got this nice paint job. I don't have mirrors that have 60,000 miles of chipped gnarly paint anymore, like the forks. The forks are next. We'll do those at some point. What else do we do? Oh yeah, we also did the taillight. I was running a Custom Dynamics taillight. You know, it had about 50,000 miles on it. Some of the bulbs were starting to blow out. So we're running the Moons MC low profile LED taillight with the signals built into it. And yeah. So did some electrical stuff, you know, make sure the electrical was dialed in. I'll show you what that looks like turned on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it given that it's pretty sunny, but here's the situation. So there's your light strips, right? Here's the front of the bike. I'll show you what it looks like when we hit the signal. So I love that, how it just like flows like that. It looks really cool when you signal. And in the front, you also have some signal action as well. And in the back of the bike, in terms of that tail light I'm telling you about, that is the signal, so super bright. And yeah, man. So yeah, it's been a while, y'all. It's been a while since FXDLS Brooklyn has actually motovlogged, actively ridden and recorded at the same time. So this is a special one, y'all. First things first, let's start this insanely loud Dyna, louder than anything else. Dude, it never gets old. That's it, y'all. Oh, looks like we got a little accident up over yonder. Yeah, it looks like a little fender bender up there. People gotta slow down. So yeah, I'm not actually doing the most exciting ride right now. Literally just rolling through the suburbs during rush hour to get this beast back to the road captain's garage. So yeah, just a little rip through the suburbs, you know, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. It's not like we're riding to Sturgis or anything, brother. But yeah, wow, fresh mirrors. Haven't had that in a while. Do a little adjustment, see what's going on behind me. It's always a good idea, right? And it's crazy, man, because the last ride I did was actually on my Lowrider ST. And when you fire up a Dyna with this type of power, you know, I've said it before, I say it again, like I love my 117 Milwaukee 8 100%, but goddamn, nothing sounds like a Hot Rod 124 twin cam SNS thing. It just sounds like no other, man. Deafening. And you know, if you're following the little build series on my Lowrider ST, we actually just did the Fab 28 install, you know, and it sounds good. It sounds good, but I'm not gonna act like it sounds anywhere as close as good as this bike sounds. Same pipe, same company, same 2-into-1, but completely different motor. Nothing sounds like a twin cam. Woohoo! My oh my. FXDLS Brooklyn is back. Damn, this bike rips, man. It just never gets old. But yeah, so, back to what I originally talked about. My first motovlog in a really long time. So yeah, after the wreck, right, I started making videos even when I wasn't riding. You know, I was just doing videos where I'd be hanging out, sitting by the bike, telling stories, doing reviews, talking about this and that. And that had always actually gone against my philosophy as a motovlogger. You know, when I created this channel, it was actually back in 2015. My philosophy in terms of a riding YouTube channel was anytime I'd be making content, I would be actively riding my motorcycle. I would never be doing the sit around your bike and talk about this and that, you know. Not that I'm throwing any shade on that. I got plenty of friends who make really good content like that. But then, you know, fast forward, the wreck happens, I can't ride, so obviously I can't make the content that I'm used to making. So what this meant is, again, I had to start experimenting with a new type of format for making my videos, because obviously what I do on here on FXDLS Brooklyn is a major positive part of my life. I do live that positive mental attitude lifestyle, and you all come along with me on these rides, and I was going through a hard time, and I had no plans of stopping what I do here on the channel, so I had to adapt. When life knocks you down, you gotta find a way. You gotta find a way to adapt. And in that adaptation of making some of those videos where I would just be sitting on my bike, you know, whether it's this bike or my Lowrider ST or something, I actually found two really interesting things. The first really interesting thing is I found that, number one, the videos when I did that actually were getting a better reception from you all than my standard motovlog videos when I'll just go out, ride, and talk about this or that. That's the first thing that was surprising. I honestly, when I started making videos like that, I kind of just didn't think people would find it really interesting because I wasn't actively riding. And then the second thing that I found really surprising is I actually really enjoyed making videos like that, because I started to notice that when I wasn't actively riding, I was able to tell a better story, or I was able to just do whatever the topic was more justice and speak a little bit more eloquently than I would in these types of videos where I'm motovlogging, because obviously right now 100% of my attention is on my riding, right? 100% of my attention is on my riding, surviving, paying attention to all the things I gotta pay attention to. So, you know, this type of video, this type of conversation is obviously not a realistic and the best way to have a conversation, you know? Yeah, I was surprised that I broke my philosophy of if we're not running the bike, we're not running the cameras, and I was actually surprised that I enjoyed making content like that, where I could actually just sit down and take a breather and collect my ideas and not have to worry about throwing around a dyno with 500 horsepower. So that was the interesting thing, you know, from all that. And wait, hold on. Sorry, I had to do it. So the interesting thing about all that is, yeah, like I said, you know, I found a new form of recording content that I actually found more enjoyment out of doing and more fulfillment out of doing than I thought I would. I definitely plan to make videos like that here and there, now and again. You know, now that I'm riding again post-wreck, I'm still gonna do my motovlogs like I do now, where, you know, I go out for a ride and I roll the cameras and I take you all with me. But like I said, I think I'm gonna also be weaving in those videos where we're just kind of sitting and chilling on the bike and talking about this or that, because again, I feel like me personally, I could tell a better story in that form of content creation than I probably can doing ridiculously high speeds down the highway on a screaming dyno. But you all let me know, like, what's your preference? A lot of you have been following me for a really long time at this point. You know, what's your preference in the content I've been putting out? Have you been getting enjoyment out of the videos where we are just chilling and taking our time to talk about this or that, whether it's a bike review or some sort of topic? Or are you someone that wants the traditional FXDLS Brooklyn, we're gonna fire this bike up and we're gonna roll the cameras? But yeah, you all let me know in the yay old comment section, what's your preference? Either way, I'm having a blast, man. I really, you know, when life knocks you down for 6 months like it did to me, it's like, even when you are doing a little rip during rush hour out in the suburbs, even that is just a very, very enjoyable and thrilling experience, man. I'll tell you what, I am just grateful to be on this bike right now and feeling the sun and hearing this motor and having you all with me, man. But alright, I'm going to continue my very, very chill crawl through the suburb rush hour to get this bike back to the road captain's garage. This bike is too hot for Brooklyn these days. Too hot for Brooklyn these days. What are you going to do? Forget about it. As always, stay safe out there and stay low. Pay the iron price. Outride your demons. Ride Dyno Lowrider S's. Ride Lowrider ST's. Ride whatever. Just make sure that you do ride. Stay safe and stay low. Keep yourself protected. Wear leather. Wear gear. And on that, FXDLS Brooklyn is out.